I've got all my pieces for the Lily of the Valley card pre-cut, die cut, and you can see what I'm going to need to do here. I'm going to take this as a stem, and then I will just go through and cut off all the little white flowers and glue them on the top. I find the easiest way to get these glued on is just to line them up next to it so I know which flower goes where, a spot of liquid glue, and then just set them all on top, kind of go through all at the same time. I'll use my take your pick tool just to make it easier and set it down on the top. Now this one I had to do a little bit of funny trimming to get off of that stem. Oh, I've got that one flipped over. This putty end is great because you can use it to pick up anything, move anything around. I do use this tool a lot to slide things around also, but for this project, the putty is super helpful. And when the putty stops being very sticky, you just scrape it off and you twist this and get yourself a little bit more putty, and then you keep on going. We'll do the same thing to glue this onto the card front, just another spot of glue on each of the little flowers. This is such a narrow, skinny stem. I just am going to slightly brush it, but the leaves at the bottom will help hold that end down, so I'm not worried about that. And just find a good place to pick it up where there isn't any glue. And then I'm just going to lay it sideways across my card. Now, if you have a different sentiment, or a bigger sentiment, or a longer sentiment, you might want to plan accordingly with your flowers. But I'm going to use kind of a squared off one, so it'll work out fine. Now, not too much glue, really, ever, but there are spaces in this. They're little ribs, and so I don't want to use too much glue because I don't want it to be squirting out the holes there. But I'll put one up the side, and it can go off the edge if I need it to, because I'm going to mount that on another piece. You could also use your regular adhesive for this piece, but since I've been gluing with the two-way glue, I'm just going to keep it going. And I don't want to put my finger down in glue, so sometimes I'll use my take your pick tool to get myself started, and then I can handle it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and use my seal now and attach the Coastal Cabana to the Garden Green. Let's go ahead and put our sentiment on. It comes from the Lily of the Valley set. I am going to use To a Forever Kind of Friend. It's just the perfect size. I like the mixture of fonts, but you have other choices here, and any stamp set that you have will work just fine. If you're doing this as a part of my Ink and Go kit, I'll provide everything but the greeting and the ink. That is for you to choose and use from your stash. So I've got my greeting on there, and the card is almost done. I'm going to, whoops, I need to fold this. And I'll use my bone folder to really get that crease nice and crisp. And then add this to the front. So it's a pretty simple card, But I think those colors, and I took those right from the designer series paper that comes with in this suite, and I think that just makes a really beautiful combination.